This is the rhythm of change. This is the sound of redemption. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. Igniting the fire within you. Exalting the melody of freedom. These are the things that will bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Down, down, down.
Let me tell you, it's in the air. Joy is in the air. Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Don't sleep on it, brother. You might get left, sister. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Justice. No need to be counted, cause I am down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down for the end of racism, for the end of bigotry, cause I am down. For the end of misogyny, that's right. For all the isms out there, just down, down, down. Let's bring it down. Rise up, people. No more foolishness, and let's bring it way down.
Riding the river of change into the cries of contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. We are the children of Eden, dancing and celebrating freedom. We are the ones that must bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. We've got to bring it down. Down. Stand up and shout. Stand up and shout. Rise together.
Accountability starts now. The Eric Dawson Radio Show.
Yeah. Rise up. Stand up, shouting loud.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized and stereotyped, please don't even show up.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Happy Monday. It's supposed to be 77 degrees today, so it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice and hot. So I'm gonna have to take off my my ADOS hoodie and just sport my ADOS short sleeve shirt. And then when the weather gets cooler, I'll put on my ADOS long sleeve t-shirt. Then when it gets colder, then I'll put on my hoodie again. But make no mistake about it. I think, Vincent, for the remainder, for the foreseeable future, I will adorn myself only in ADOS attire. And I think, much like Muslims, wear a garb that identifies them as Muslim, right? And Jews wear the yarmulke, right? Now, I mean, they wear it for religious purposes, but the fact is, when you see a yarmulke, or you see the Orthodox Jews, right, with the hats and the long overcoats and all that, right? It's easily identifiable, right? You know exactly who they are. You know exactly what their belief system is. You have a clear understanding. And my concern is that Black Americans just kind of blend in, right? And so I don't want to blend in with Black Americans who have yet to be on code. I don't want to blend in with Black Americans who are still plugged into the Matrix, right? I want to be like Morpheus in the Matrix, right? I want to be clear that I am unplugged from the Matrix. When you see me, you will know that I know and that I'm acting accordingly, right? And my hope is that, and I hate to really promote stuff other than doing a show on a show, but I think this is important. Yeah. But I'm working to expand this ADOS line, right? Under a company that I formed called the 1619 Group, right? So the 1619 Group, and we'll have a website up soon, will curate content around Black Americans, right?
Don't forget your ADS attire will soon be on Amazon.
Right.
So look forward to it.
Yeah, right. But it's really about informing, right? It's about informing and engaging and empowering. Everything that I do is centered around informing, engaging, and empowering. So informing, right? Wearing it informs others that I know who I am, and so they better recognize and put some respect on it, right? So to clear, informing. Engaging. I want to engage like-minded people, and I want to spend less time dealing with folks who want to be plugged into the Matrix. I posted that video earlier, yesterday, I think it was, with the of the Matrix. That scene where I forgot the guy's name in the movie, but he wanted to be plugged back in the Matrix. He said, "Listen, I'm tired of this reality. I'm tired of understanding the reality of my condition. And I want you to plug me back in. I want to believe that this mush I'm eating is really steak. And I want you to make me somebody important." And when I rewatched that episode, that scene rather, in the movie, it made me think of so many Black people in this election who said, "Oh my God, I just want to get rid of Donald Trump. I just want to feel better. Just make me feel better." Not that anything is going to substantively change in your life, but you just want to feel better about your current situation of being on a plantation. And so this is what he was saying. He said, "Look, I know things are not going to change. I know things are going to be the way that they are. I know that I am subjugated and a slave, but make me feel better about it. Ignorance is bliss. Plug me back into the Matrix, and then you know what? Because I'm going to be a Negro whisperer and telling other people, when you plug me back in, make me somebody important. I said, God damn, that's it. That's exactly like me trying to codify what was going on during this entire election. That's what I saw. So, informing, I want you to know exactly who I am. I'm unplugged. Engaging, I want to engage those people who are unplugged. And then empowering, I want to empower through economics. So here's the economic piece, which ties into the informing and the engaging. As I build this, and I've been reaching out to young black men and women to participate in the building of this for an equity stake. See, that's the empowering, right? Economics. They get an equity stake. The proceeds, the majority of the proceeds will go for two things. One, I want to be able to send black Americans to Alabama, to the Slave Museum. I want to be able to send black Americans to Washington, to the African American Museum, using the proceeds from this. I want to also be able to create some sort of a scholarship fund, right, to pay for books, and maybe at some point, if we become successful enough, to help support the tuition costs for black Americans. See what I'm saying? Informing, engaging, and empowering. So that's what Eric is about. So I want people to be clear about where it is that I stand. All the other stuff is maximum sophisticated confusion that people are talking about, because folks are not really talking about true information, true engagement, and true empowerment, which means an economic stake. See, so if you're having conversations with people and they're talking to you about empowering you, but there's not an economic tie to it, it's maximum sophisticated confusion. Let us be clear about that. The other thing that I posted this too, Vincent, did you see Shawshank Redemption? Oh, I don't know where Vincent went. Anyway.
No, I'm here.
Did you see Shawshank Redemption?
I caught pieces of it.
So there's a scene in Shawshank Redemption, right? So Andy Dufresne, who was framed, right, and in the movie, and was convicted for killing his wife, was locked up, right? Morgan Freeman was in the movie. It was a great movie. It didn't do well in the box office because of the name, Shawshank Redemption, right? But it did well after, right, on HBO and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, in the movie, he's facing a life sentence, and so are a lot of the other inmates. Well, Andy Dufresne, because he was a banker, was able to show some of the guards how to shelter some of their money. And as a show of gratitude, what they did was they allowed these guys, as they were tarring the roof of one of the buildings, they allowed them to sit up there and bask in the sunshine and drink beer. And so as these guys were drinking beer, they said, for this moment, right, we feel like we're free. But in fact, they were, prior to drinking the beer, they were facing life sentences and whatever, right? While they were drinking the beer, they were still facing those life sentences. They were still in prison, but they just felt better. That too, when I watched it, reminded me of black people during this election. It was all about feeling better, not changing circumstances, but feeling better. Getting this monkey off your back called Donald Trump, right? Getting the orange man out of office so the anxiety level would decrease. Well, it decreased for Morgan Freeman and for Andy Dufresne, as character in that movie, but it didn't change their circumstances. And that's what I've been saying. So now you woke up, according to everybody, you feel better. Everybody feels a little bit better. But nothing in your life has changed. Nothing. Not one single thing. I had a conversation with my mother, and my mother was talking to me about, we were talking about this, and I said, Mom, have you noticed the tone in the news has changed? I said, did you notice in 2016, this same time in 2016, days after the election, days after Donald Trump was elected, the media began an assault from literally the next day. They turned the temperature up and kept it up. And so your level of anxiety had much to do with what the media decided to do in terms of messaging to you. And so by the end, there was a calculation that by the end, you would be so frazzled, you would be so at wit's end that you'd do anything to get this monkey off your back. But now, because the media has what they want now, they turned it back down, but you're still that frog in that pot of water. They didn't turn it off. They didn't take you out. They just turned it down. But make no mistake about it, you were still boiling to death. That's my monologue. So what's up, Vincent? Oh,
Well, after all that, I don't even know where to begin. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, let me say this, Eric. There is change. We change every day. We change every minute. We change, we grow with confirmations of successful ideologies and the agony of failed ideologies. Either way, we change. We change in growing and knowing our children, our loved ones, our spouse, our significant others, because every day they change. Heck, I look for, we talked about it before, and I've even gotten accustomed to noticing when my wife has changed something so that I can change my mindset and move to prepare myself.
right.
This election, I cannot say that nothing in people's lives have changed. We're talking about over 75 million people who were rewarded with stepping out on faith and hope in change, changing from our current condition, changing from our existence, our way of life, changing from a change that can lead to better justice or equal justice, changing. No. I saw this weekend, my brother, a whole group of people who were just at this point, at this time, exhaling because they know that change is about to come.
So when Robert Johnson, right, founder of BET, says that black people don't get any ROI on their vote, he's lying?
No, but I'm saying that Robert Johnson doesn't speak for black America in its entirety.
No. It's not about speaking for black America. I'm talking about data. I'm saying when he looks at the data, right, he's talking about the data. He's not. So when he looks at the data and says, well, historically, this is how black people voted. Historically, this has been the ROI, right? When he looks at that and says that there hasn't been a return on the investment, based on the data, is he misreading that data?
No, but I'd like to actually, I have not looked at the data in which he was basing his statement because, I mean, if he's looking at the data based on his company, then he's absolutely right. Because BET ended up selling commercial time on his channel. A black national network channel percent of what the regular networks were doing. So yeah, there was no return on that investment. But if you're looking at the return on the investment of black America and its investment in our politicians today has shown the needle moved.
Well, what it showed,
No.
but wait a minute. But what did it show? It showed that black people. Listen. This is what I believe it showed. It showed that black people could be manipulated. It showed that black people could be messaged to, right, and that you can get them to the polls. That's what it showed. Beyond that,
Eric, that what you're saying that it shows for black people shows for all people because all people can be manipulated.
Absolutely,
and all people can and all people can be messaged and marketed to get.
I'm not suggesting that they can't, but I would say again, the most loyal. And again, am I wrong with the data? The most loyal group to the Democratic Party has been Black Americans. Is that true or not?
That's true.
Right.
No,
And so
that is very true.
I'm talking specifically about how the system has been able to keep this group as loyal as it has kept it for all the decades that it has done it without providing, based on data, a return on investment.
No, what it showed is that what this election showed is that this group has been invigorated because polls show that a majority of that quote unquote loyal group, especially black men.
Roll your window up. You
Okay.
got a lot of noise going on.
What it shows is that what you call the loyal group had stopped being loyal, and that's why Hillary lost.
No.
See,
So
what it showed, what this election showed is that this loyal group that you call has been invigorated with a sense of purpose.
right. No. So let us be clear, because I try to stay on code, right? And what I say is this: that the Corporation of White Supremacy always corrects the mousetrap. Always corrects the mousetrap. And so in 2016, they realized that their messaging was off. Right? That's what they realized, that their messaging was off. They had a guy over here who was running, and they had Hillary Clinton who was running, and they just did not supply the correct messaging. And so they went back to the drawing board, right? They reset the mousetrap, changed the messaging, decided that it was all going to be all about fear. What did I say to you a couple years ago? I said 80% or more of everything sold in this country is sold based on fear. Right? 80% of what you purchase based on...
No. Well, Eric, 80% is what is sold according to the statistics. It's not sold on fear.
That's not
it's
true.
sold on sex. 80% of what is talked about in politics is sold on fear.
So we can have that.
So,
We can have that debate too, right? But when we're having that debate, even if you're talking about, and I'm just going to spend a little bit of time on this because I just like to correct things. So even when you're talking about it being sold on sex, right? If you're talking about penile implants, it's a guy being fearful of not being able to satisfy. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when we drill down to it, it's all fear. But we can have an entire. We can listen. We can listen.
Fear of non-performance,
right?
Or he just could be in fear of not getting any.
Right, right. So what I'm saying to you is this: so when you drill down into the tab of sex in this whole thing, it still is fear, right? But we can delve into that in a marketing segment some other day. But trust me, 80% of everything that's sold is sold based on fear. 80% or more is sold on fear.
I will agree that 80% of politics, but 80% of marketing is sold on an instant gratification. One of the greatest instant gratification forms is sex.
Right, but again, Vincent, right. So
money.
Right, but again, it's fear of not having money. It's fear. Wait a minute. Wait.
But the fear of not having money, which means that without money, you're not going to get sex with that gorgeous woman.
Right. That's my point. Right. It all drills back down to fear. Fear of not having. Right. Fear of not getting. Fear of not doing something. Right. That's what they said. They juxtapose it. But again, let's save it because I know you want to debate that. Right. To drill that to get into the weeds of it.
And that strategy is not the corporation of white supremacy. That strategy is the corporation of capitalism. But and then let's look at the fear situation. If you're saying for a person to have fear, they have to actually have it. So
no, that's not.
And then they're fearing of losing it.
No, that's not true. No.
About a group of Black America that does not have it.
Right.
So what are they afraid of losing?
What do you? So I'm not sure what you're talking about now, but I want to answer Mark's question really quickly. Yes, Mark. Food is fear, right? They're messaging to you in all kinds of ways. They're messaging body image, right? So healthy food, right? You don't want to have a heart attack, right? You don't want to be obese. You don't want to have high blood pressure. You don't want to have you want to eat healthy. All of it.
Right. and that fear is based on losing your life.
right. So
Yes.
right, that's what I just said.
So that marketing on food or eating healthy or going clean and green is all about
It's all fear.
preserving your life.
Right, but it's all based on fear. So
Yeah.
so
But you look at the marketing in terms of vehicles and houses.
well, I don't want to.
It's
No,
not based on-
visit. Stay on course. I don't. We're not talking about vehicles and all.
Okay.
I just made the overall point about
But let's
messaging.
get back to the political
There we
and
go.
Bobby Johnson. Okay, Bobby Johnson has basically pushed an ad based upon fear. He's saying that you guys have nothing. You're all celebrating about something and you have nothing. But this is the same man who said that, oh, ain't nobody been good to the black people but the Clintons. And how wrong was he with that, with the Clinton-Klein bill?
Well, he was wrong.
NAFTA agreement.
Right. You could be wrong. You could be wrong. Listen,
Of
listen,
course.
listen. You could look. I've evolved on this show over 4.5 years, almost 5 years. I've evolved in a lot of ways, right? From being, I was wrong about calling. I was wrong about calling Black Americans African Americans. We're not African Americans. We're Black Americans, right? I was wrong about a number of issues. I was.
Okay? And look, brother, look, I'm wrong too. But and here's the ability in between me being wrong and a lot of America being wrong. See, when I'm wrong, I come to the maturity and understanding that when I'm wrong, let me acknowledge it and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Because when I'm wrong with my wife and there's some tension, when I say I'm sorry and I was wrong, it gets me to my main goal in
Right.
being one of my main goals in being married. But what people are now expressing, especially Bobby Johnson, because he was not a Biden supporter. So what he's saying is that, okay, I wasn't wrong because y'all still ain't got nothing.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is this: is he wrong for saying that? So what I'm asking you is this, Vincent,
Eric,
are
answering is he wrong for saying that? I'm going to say this: I respect everybody's First Amendment.
No, I'm asking you, but it's not about how you feel. But it's
so I can't say that he was wrong in saying that because he is within his First Amendment right.
no, I'm not asking about your feelings. I'm saying
What I'm
data.
saying is that
I want to be
people have the right
data
to
driven.
Speak whatever they want, no matter how jackass it is.
No, but
Or-
Vincent, listen.
Yes.
Right. You have this way of being long-winded and never answering a question. Right? Very
Okay.
simple questions I'm asking you. And I want it to be based on data, not based on feelings. Is he based on data? Is he wrong when he says that we don't have anything?
Yes, he's absolutely wrong. Because he's not talking about data in its entirety. He's talking about data based on some small facts, which are outdated. He's wrong.
He's wrong about.
He is,
So wait a minute. So he's. I just want to be clear. So he's wrong about blacks being anchored to the very bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. He's wrong about blacks being anchored to the very bottom of every key metric in this country. He's wrong about that.
he's wrong because in its entirety the black needle has moved.
No.
No. The poverty level for black Americans has been decreased. One of the best things about Obama. So he's wrong, and he's wrong about blacks being at the political power because this election showed that blacks have political power.
No, we don't have political.
Well, how did we get Biden elected?
So this is
He
again.
was elected. He was elected, Eric,
Right.
by the black vote.
Right. So we.
So we have power. It's time to flex some muscle. It's time to stop listening to those naysayers who were wrong about one thing and now want to put you to another fact to prove to disprove why they were wrong because of A, B, C, and D.
So let me ask you a question.
Years ago.
So let me ask you a question, right? Because this is what I'm gonna equate it to. So during slavery on a plantation, when all the slaves were picking cotton and were harvesting tobacco, right, and the economy of America was booming, did those blacks have economic power? Because it was because of them that they cleared those fields.
No, blacks at that time doing the corporational slavery had no
Wait,
economic
no,
power
but wait,
except for being the commodity.
right, follow what I'm saying to you, Vincent. But it was their effort that cleared the field, right?
It was their efforts, but they were at that particular time a commodity.
No, I understand
They
that. So you're making my point, Vincent. So it was our effort that got Biden in. The same way it was our effort that cleared the fields. But you're now equating the fact that we got Biden in with power, but you're saying over here when we cleared the fields, it was clear we had no power. I'm saying we still don't have power now. So yes, our effort then as the commodity to their wealth and power, and our effort now to their commodity, wealth, and power is still the same. You somehow see it differently.
No, it's not, and that's therefore Bobby Johnson and Eric Dawson. But
It's data.
Here is the difference between then and now. Now we are not, and I repeat, not slaves. But yet we're going to continue to go back to the point of slavery.
No, we are still enslaved.
No, Eric, please let me finish.
Yeah.
We are not slaves. So the economic impact of us clearing the field have nothing to do with the impact of us electing a president. Nothing at all, except for the simple fact that we are black people doing the actual thing of a process or doing.
Vincent, I tell you, you're disillusioned. We're still on the plantation, Vincent.
No, we're not on the plantation, but we still have the mindset of being on the plantation. That's why we continue to be bonded, enslaved, and easily manipulated, because we still have that plantation mentality. Let it go. It was 400 years ago. Let us now remember the process and what got us there, and those things that stand in our way. We can't move forward because we're always looking back.
Oh, no.
We were slaves. We was cotton pickers.
No. I think our inability to move forward, Vincent, is the fact that we are delusioned, right? That's why we don't move forward, right? So we believe, so you have this fundamental belief that there is nothing anchoring us and tying us back, that we have been freed. Right? That is your fundamental belief. Wait, that is your fundamental belief. Wait.
No. What I'm saying to you, Eric.
Well, you can't say both things, Vincent, can you?
Change. Emotionally and mentally, we have the change.
But you can't say both, Vincent. But you're talking out of both sides of your mouth now. Either.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. There are women who have been physically abused, and although they are away from them, they still deal with the emotional scars of the abuse. It's called post-traumatic stress. Yet we sit up here with post-slavery stress. 400 years. Not one person living today is born in captivity. But yet we still have the stress of it and the anxiety of it, and we still believe that we're slaves. Once we liberate our mind.
Wait. So now if you're using the term liberate, right? So this is what I'm saying to you, Vincent. So yes, I believe that we need to be liberated, right? We need to be liberated from miseducation. We need to be liberated from the oppression of unfair and unjust policies, right? We need to be liberated from those things. And if we're not liberated, right? Because we're not, then what are we?
If we're not liberated, then we are therefore bound in the chains of our minds.
Wait a minute.
Now,
wait. So the policies, those policies are in our minds?
Those policies are in our minds.
Really?
Well, you know what?
So
Here's the thing.
All of those black people.
Go ahead.
All of those black people who are in prison, that's just in their mind? I'm talking in jail.
No, black people in prison is not a mental state. Well, part of it is a mental state. And keep in mind, I do the the prison ministry, and I do counseling to ex-offenders.
Right, but I'm saying that,
No. You asked a question. question about.
Yeah, but I want you to just answer the question.
In fact, even talking to them, they are still in prison in their minds, still having that same
Right, but no.
mentality.
But I'm asking you.
Not looking to understand that they are liberated to start again. They get out looking to get back into another crime, which has them captured. It's in their mind. Change begins with the mind. It doesn't begin with the body. People decide to make a change mentally and then physically do it. People make a decision to alcohol first in their mind, and then they physically follow. Women decide to get away from abusive situations in their mind, and then they leave. In our mind, Eric, there is a great deal of African Americans, black people, who are still thinking that they are in a slave state.
God help me. Go, Diane. Save me from this.
My head hurts, and I swear it always hurts when Vincent screams, because all he does is scream. So I'm really not listening, because he has that jail mentality of, if I yell loud enough, you'll hear me and understand me more. So,
okay. Well, let me do the rest of the show without screaming.
It starts in your head, Vincent. So let's go there. But other than that, he is not wrong for what he's stating. What he's stating is the truth. We voted for somebody that we anticipate is going to do something for us because we voted for them. The only power that black people have is the power to vote. That's it. The election is over. We have no more power. We have no power to move any candidate in any particular direction that we want them to do, because most of us are going to fall back asleep and do nothing. And the other few selected people who choose to do something will not have enough people, because the rest of us fell asleep and won't put any energy into moving policies forward.
Amen.
It is.
So what do you think about what Mark says? It's very interesting. He says power has more to do with leverage regardless of political affiliation. Getting a group to follow a herd is not power. Power is saying, if you do this or promise to do this, we will vote for you. But we will be watching you. If you don't do this, I can't read the rest of what he wrote. You can read it in the thread, though. So the question, the statement that Mark is making is that power is, I guess, the ability to hold one accountable, right? And not just that a group of people followed the whim of a particular power broker, right?
Which goes with what Diane said. We elected the officials, but then we lose our power when we do not follow up with the next election, with looking and not just power in terms of the president, power in terms of your school board, your mayor, your city council, your district attorney, your state attorney general.
I want to ask you guys
sit up there and we give up that power when we let our foot off the gas.
I'm going to get back to
That's absolutely right.
I want to get back to the whole power thing because I think that we're using the wrong word. But did you hear what James Clyburn said? He was asked.
Mm-hmm.
He was asked very directly. He said, "It was you, Mr. Clyburn, Congressman Clyburn. It was you, solely you, who breathed life." Much like Jesus did to Lazarus, breathed life into you.
And Tabitha.
He said, "What does Biden owe you?" And James Clyburn said, "Nothing." He said, "He owes me nothing." Now, we all know that politics is a transactional business. For this black man, because we're talking about power now, right? This man sat there on national television and relinquished it all. Right there. He said, "He owed me nothing. Nothing. I ain't asking for nothing."
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Pardon my French.
Diane, you want to go first?
he owes us nothing because we get nothing out of it. And Clyburn told us down the river, and we standing around dancing and partying over the weekend.
There you go. That's my point. That's my point.
Okay.
So they got so much hubris that they could say that.
And Clinton said it during his speech on Saturday. The African Americans pulled me up, and we ain't gonna do shit.
Biden said it.
Biden, yeah, thank you, Vincent, for correcting me.
Yeah, he said on national television that it was the African Americans who had my back, and I will have theirs. Now, in terms of Clyburn and answering your question, I thought on a political and national platform that Clyburn was very magnanimous in saying that he owes me nothing. Yes, there are a lot of us who believe, including myself, that yes, there was possibly some deal that has been made. Okay? What it is, we don't know now. Okay? But we do know, or we do believe that there is something. But we also know Clyburn and what he has done. And he is one of the most selfless politicians that have been there. So what he does owe him may have a great deal of impact on the African American community. Either positive or negative, we don't know right now. But wait,
but why don't we know?
Such a punk, and he won't say that he owes us something. Why is he kowtowing and bowing down and says, "I did all of this in the Carolinas for him. I pulled him over. I brought him down here, introduced him to my people. I paraded him around, and we're going to get nothing for that?"
No, he said he owes me nothing. So there is a magnitude. There is I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
To believe that you're doing all of this to get nothing, whether it's for yourself or for your state. You are a fool if you think that he did all of that for nothing. And if he did it for nothing, then y'all stupid for voting for both of them.
And again, I will
getting something out of it.
And again, I will say, I'll say it again. Yes, in terms of talking to the in terms of talking to the nation, he does not want to give a projection that now he is beholding to.
Why?
Biden. Whoa, no, let me finish. Yet Biden said something that Obama did not have the ability to say. Biden said that they had my back and I'll have theirs. Obama did not have the ability to say that.
But wait a minute, no. But I'm not talking about. Wait a minute. I want to deal with this for a second. So you're accepting, and I want to. This is the thing that gets me. So this is the plantation mentality. This is the slave mentality. So now you got a guy, you got a black man, a black American who comes out, breathes life into an old white man, right? He covers him with blackness, right? And he says, vote for this guy, but I'm not gonna tell this guy that he owes us anything. But just go ahead and vote for him. Then after he wins, and now you, as a black American, get to stand on television as the guy. And now you're saying to me, Vincent, that we should be accepting of Clyburn posturing himself, right, in a subordinate way, and saying, yeah, as a congressman, they owe me nothing.
No, that is not what I said. And please refrain from putting those words in my mouth. What I said was he was being magnanimous. No, let me finish.
How do you know he's being magnanimous? That's how you took it, right?
Please, let me finish. Now, we all know that there was a deal made. But it's a great deal of wisdom to not show your hand to your opponent. What good would it have done to Clyburn to say what you want him to say and cause all this uproar in the white community?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Diane. I'm going to whoop his... Nope. Here we go. Come on. Wait a minute. Stop for a second, Diane, please. Let me say this. I want you to understand the posture. that we're taking now, right? Because you literally spent the first 40 or 40 minutes or half an hour talking about the power that black people had. Now you're saying, oh, wait a minute.
I'm gonna minutes. You spent 40 minutes.
Okay, no. Okay, all right, I'm not gonna whatever, Vincent. So you talked about I'm saying we didn't have power. You're saying we did have power, but now you're saying, oh, but Clyburn has to be focused on what white people gonna say. Understand what I'm saying to you? You said we had power. Now you say, but Clyburn got to be focused on what white people gonna think about him. I'm saying if we had the power that you just said we had, Vincent, then Clyburn should lean into that power and he should say, black people, you delivered him, and I'm demanding this. But he has set forth a posture that says we got to be concerned about what other people think about what we might be demanding. So I got to go behind a closed door somewhere and have some secret conversation about some shit. Come on, stop it.
Yeah, Eric, here's the best thing about power, okay? And real power, okay? See, a lot of people equate power with flexing the muscle and intimidation, which is what Trump did. Clyburn did. No, let me finish. What Clyburn did was reflect power in terms of the true one in the corporation. If you are working behind the scenes and in the shadows and pulling the puppets, then
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
You don't have to announce to the world
Vincent,
your power.
Let me ask you a question.
Doesn't see the result.
Let me ask you a question, Vincent. Mitch McConnell, tell me what closed door he's behind. That dude stands right there in front of the goddamn cameras every day and demands exactly what he's going to do. See, and then so let's take these two. See, because I'm looking at this, Vincent, and I'm saying, wait a minute, you got Mitch McConnell over here, you got Lindsey Graham over here, you got all of them over here standing in front of the TV saying, this is what we want, this is what we demand, this is what we gonna get, this is what you're not gonna get. He said to black people, and I'm talking about Mitch McConnell, y'all got your reparations. Now, you're telling me that the black man who, like Jesus, said to Biden, rise. And then he's on national television and he takes a posture of putting his goddamn tail between his legs and then you accept it. Come on, black people.
His legs? He didn't put, no. See, Eric, again, you are now wanting because Eric Dawson wants this, Eric the Almighty wants this, you now want them to mess up what was established because you want them to stand before the whole world and say, we have power, in which Mitch McConnell does, and Lindsey Graham does. And Clyburn is smart enough to know that he cannot flaunt his power around like Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham.
Why?
Bow down, black man.
Bow down, black man. Here you go. Why can't he, Vincent? Black people delivered him. Why can't he?
Countdown black man is absolutely, positively correct in what it's saying. Now, here is the thing. Do you want to exude all this power and everything that you work for now gets crushed because the white people want to show you who has power?
Oh my goodness. Let me put on my tap dance music. Let me put my tap dance music on.
We haven't wrote a check. We've worked for nothing.
That's my point, Diane. Do you see it already? Like literally, we're not even out of November yet. We're not even a full week. Tomorrow's a full week from the election. And we're already saying, you know what? We got to temper what we say. We got to temper what we do. We got to be real careful because Massa might get upset with us. So we can't. The most powerful black man was Jim Clyburn. But what they did was they took Jim Clyburn, put him on national TV, and they say, you ain't got no power.
That's right. Because the most powerful black man right now knows where his base of support is coming from. And he knows what the opposition is. And he knows that the opposition outnumbers him.
Wow.
So his power can...
I think you need to stop. Because you need the first getting because your knowledge level is so low. Go ahead, Jody.
shut off his mic sometimes. Sometimes just shut his mic off. If he doesn't understand how dangerous his languaging is, where he's telling us we now have to coddle, if we have power, if we should.
No, I didn't say that we had to coddle. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you don't. What I'm saying is that you know what, you don't have to rub it in their
face. Why don't we have to be the people, right? Why don't we always have to be the people that have to slander around or play games or use certain languages? We just put a person in the fucking office. We have power. We can stand on that power, and it is because of people like you who feel like it's better behavior, right? To coddle some people that we don't have any power. That they actually see that weakness, they stoke on that weakness, and they come and they conquer on that weakness. Listen, he was wrong for saying he owed him nothing. And if you don't get that, that's your problem. Every now and then, just shut his mic off.
You know what, Jody? I feel the same way about you sometimes too. Yeah, and that's my point, Jody. Jody, that's my point. I respect your opinion, but you know what? I don't have to believe all of it. The simple fact is that no. The simple fact is this. Well, you have that right to not respect my opinion, but right now you have the ability and right to listen to it. Now, we do not have to. One of the things about being the worst person in the world is having power and flaunting it. Why do you think the biggest thing with the athletes and that sore loser thing that they have now brought into the thing of taunting? They have now brought into those other things. No, I respect the fact that he has class.
So the fact that you are making an analogy between somebody that bounces a freaking ball and the life of black people, that is how and I don't know what's wrong with you, but Vincent, listen. That wasn't classy of him, right? It was turning his back on the thousands, the hundreds of thousands and millions of black people who ran out under his command and voted for this man to then say that those men, he wasn't speaking for himself. He was speaking for the same race of people that he rose up and had vote for this man. So he's not my spokesperson when he says that Biden doesn't owe my community nothing. And it is silly of you, and it's crazy of you to try and perpetuate that argument. And you've been I've been listening to you and Eric. You've been arguing for an hour about the lack of power we should show when we just won an election for someone. How we need to be cautious about how we do it. How we now have to be, I don't know why you called it classy, but we have to be classy now about saying that it is time for this country to pay back, or that party to pay back the millions of black people who have put them in office. That is silly. That is ridiculous.
No, that's not what I said. See, once again, you want to make my message, you want to transfer my message into what it's not. My message is the simple fact that we are getting it doesn't mean that we have to flaunt it.
Well, Vincent, I'd have to say, if I'm saying it, Eric's saying, Jody's saying, people in the feed are saying it, you got to be wrong. It can't be everybody else. There's wrong with the way that you speak. Maybe you don't understand what you're saying because you're reading it and you don't understand what you're reading. But you're
well, you know what, Diane? I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say Vincent is wrong.
You know what? You could be absolutely right, Diane.
Vincent, but you just heard me.
I'm the first to admit that I'm not always right.
No. But I don't think.
Could be wrong.
I don't think
However, this is what I'm going to err on. I'm going to err on the belief, okay? And that everybody should probably understand, know, or have it in the back of their mind, is that he is getting something for it. He doesn't have to flaunt what he gets.
Right.
Okay? He does not have to put in the face of America, or white America, and all that other stuff. He doesn't have to point.
Right.
You're
So
no. That's what you are. You are the
whoa. First of all, we said no curse words.
You, Vincent.
There is nothing wrong with me.
You are mentally wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
You're the one.
So
You're
what
the
I'm
one
gonna
that
say
we
is
need to
this.
expose and get rid of.
I'm not
Something is wrong with you.
right. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
okay, because I'm the one who's actually saying that we need to actually exhibit some class and dignity that makes us magnanimous, that makes us take the high road. No. There's more than enough people taking that road.
You're the problem. You're the problem with Black America.
So
No, I'm not the problem for Black America. No, the Black America has a lot of problems that do not include me.
You are it. You are the disease.
So what I'm gonna say is this, Vincent. You know, I think that I'm not gonna say wrong. I am gonna say that your perspective is one that is deeply concerning because for me, just for me, right? So I have my right to my opinion because when you look at a world and say that every other group of people, every other group can step forward and clearly state their demands, except black people. That somehow black people. Let me finish.
That's not what I said.
Well, let me.
That
Okay,
is not
Vincent.
what I said.
Vincent, and I'm not yelling, right? And so please don't yell back, right? So when we have to be magnanimous, right? When we have to use words like we're not going to flaunt, right? We're going to be magnanimous. We're going to be, we're not going to be outward about our demands, right? Whatever, right? Because that's what it all comes down to, right? That we're not that Clyburn didn't just overtly say this is what he owes me, but every other group can do that. Jewish community can do it, right? The gay community can do it. Whites can do it, right? And then not only do they do it, they then get results, right? We're arguing that we don't get a return on our investment and trying to figure out why. And not even a week into the election.
Eric,
Okay.
that is not in my messaging.
What is in your? No, wait. Stop for a second. Wait. Because I want to do this, Vincent. Right? I'm gonna slow down. I don't want you to yell. Right? I want you to tell me very clearly what your message is. Go ahead.
Here is the point of my messaging. It's the simple fact of this: we are in. Can we agree that Black America is in a war against oppression and supremacy?
Sure.
Okay. Now, what we have just exhibited is that we have the ability to win a battle. We have not won the war.
Can I stop you for a second, Vincent? So now, because I want to follow this, right? And we're gonna try to do this without the yelling and stuff, so people can really try to. Okay, and not only not yelling, but not talking over each other too, right? So we're gonna do that. Okay, so now you said we won the battle, but not the war. Please mute your phone for a second. Jody, mute your phone.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Mute your phone because I can hear you're having a conversation. I can hear it. So Vincent, you said
I'm so sorry.
that's okay. Vincent, you said we won the battle, but not the war. That's what you said, right? Vincent?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm using my mic to make sure.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. But you don't have to mute your mic. I'm just saying we don't have to talk over each other. I don't mute my mic.
No. I
Vincent.
want to make sure that everybody can hear
Vincent.
you clearly.
Vincent.
Without interference from me. Go
Vincent,
ahead.
you said just now we won the battle, but not the war. Correct?
Correct.
And I'm saying to you, we didn't win anything. Now, so maybe that's our first point of disagreement, right? That I don't think that black people won anything. What did we win? Tell me what we won specifically. I don't know. What did we win?
What we won is the affirmation of our hope. Now, can I finish?
Go ahead, Vincent.
We went into this battle for presidency with the hope of change, with the hope of his lift every voice and all of his principles that he has said and written to come into fruition. We are just in the first business day of the victory of that hope. It is a battle. The war still continues. We have more.
All right, we don't need you to be long-winded. I'm just trying to, because we only got less than an hour to do the show. So you say we won hope. I say I want to cut to the chase. You said that's what we won, hope.
We won the affirmation that what we hope for in him.
What does that mean, Vincent? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yes.
Okay.
No. But Vincent, I don't need a 40-minute soliloquy. Just very specific. What does it mean? An affirmation of hope.
Okay.
We've affirmed our own hope.
Eric.
Yes.
I can give you a short answer if you can give me
an
opportunity to say it.
Go ahead, Vincent.
Okay. Now, we went in this knowing our present conditions under Trump. We went in this knowing or hoping that getting President Trump will get us to a release of some of the suffering that we have done. Now, we have won that first battle. There is more to fight. We got Trump out. That was the battle. Now, that's what we won. Now, what are we doing now? We're gearing up for the next battle.
Okay, stop for a second. We got a call, but then I want to deal with our suffering, what we really suffered, right? And I'm talking tangibles, right? What we suffered, not the anxiety, right? Not the emotional stuff. But no, Vincent, we said we're not going to talk over each other. We said that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's take the caller, and then I want to talk specifically about the suffering. Go, caller.
Okay, guys, this is Darren. How y'all doing?
Yo, what's going on, D? D, what did we win?
I gotta say I agree with Vincent.
What did we win, Darren?
And I'm gonna tell you why. I think we gotta be very careful, even with the people I'm going back and forth with now on Facebook, because I keep hearing everybody, well, not everybody, I keep hearing a lot of people throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I'm using one of your terms, Eric. When it comes to the Democratic Party, are the Dems perfect? Heck no. Are the Republicans? Here's what I think this election came down to. You had 75 million so far that voted for Biden, and 71 million or whatever that voted for Trump.
Right.
All I think this election highlighted was just how racist this country is. Because we keep talking about the Dems, and here's my problem. Everybody's record has to be up. I always go right in the middle. We keep talking about the Dems, and we talk about Biden, we talk about this one and that one, but we keep ignoring what we went through these last 4 years.
Thank you.
Trump caused everything, Eric. He didn't cause everything, but you cannot ignore, Eric, and you guys keep ignoring this. We got 240,000 people that have died because he lied. Let's start there. Second, our president's most vital job, Eric, is to protect the lives of its citizens.
Darren, I want to stop you. I want to stop you.
We gotta stop ignoring that.
Darren.
And then Bob Johnson.
Darren, wait, Darren.
No, let him finish.
No, I'm gonna let him finish. Darren.
He's gonna be viewing things from a different lens
Darren.
than me and you and other people.
Darren.
I don't give a darn what Bob Johnson says. He's a piece of crap.
Darren.
Please.
Darren.
We gotta do a reality.
Can you hear me?
Reality.
Darren.
I'm listening.
I don't know if you. So I want to take each thing, right? Because and the reason I did that, Vincent, is because you can't. If you rolled over from coronavirus to Bob Johnson. So I want to finish the coronavirus conversation, and then we can have the Bob Johnson conversation. That's the only reason I did that. So now, when you I want to even go back further, because you said 71 million voted for Trump, right? 74 million voted for Biden. You said this showed how racist our country is. So are you suggesting that that every person that voted for Trump is racist? That's my first question. Yes or no?
Okay. The majority of them are, Eric. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yes.
So the 74 million people, 71 million people, the majority of the 71 million people you believe are racist, right?
I'll tell you why, too.
Okay.
I'd like to hear that. Can you have 2 minutes on that?
Vincent, yeah, okay, of course he can, Vincent.
Go ahead, Derek. Why do you believe they are?
Vincent, please let him talk. Go ahead.
Why would I vote for somebody
Uh-huh.
who won't denounce white supremacy?
Right.
Why would I vote for somebody that give tax breaks to the rich,
Right.
don't care about the low and middle income people?
Right.
You want me to go on?
No. So I'll answer those. I'll answer those. Wait, but you asked me a question, and I'm going to answer the question, Darren. So if I'm making over $400,000 a year, right? If I'm making over $400,000 a year, and that guy is saying to me that I can benefit, right? Why wouldn't I? Let me keep going. So I know people personally, Darren, prior to the shutdown of the economy, whose 401ks were freaking through the roof. They were doing amazing, and they weren't $400,000 people. They were just ordinary people whose 401ks were amazing. So if they looked and simply said, "Hey, listen, that guy has my 401k going through the goddamn roof. That's why I want him." See, we got to be real careful.
Nothing to do with the
Wait a minute, Vincent, he asked me a question.
Okay.
Right. So now I'm not suggesting that there are people, that there are white people in particular who looked and said, "I'm going to attach myself to this guy because of his populist views regarding white people." I'm not saying that. I am saying, however, there were a bunch of other things. So be careful when we say simply that 71 million people, that all of them are racist, right?
Because the majority.
Wait a minute, but he got an uptick in. But he got an uptick in. Wait a minute. So my question to you is: the uptick in black males, were they racist?
Majority of them.
They. Come on now.
Totally misinformed.
Yeah, totally misinformed. And we discussed that on this show.
Totally misinformed.
Yeah.
Right? No, I'm not saying that they weren't misinformed. You said racist. So we can talk about the percentage of people that might be misinformed, right? See, that's what I'm saying. I just want to be clear when we say things, right? Because the polarization of, well, we got 71 million over here, so that the country is divided simply on race. The country is divided on race. It's divided on class. It's divided on a bunch of issues. A bunch of issues. You had Hispanics in certain areas voting for him, right? They weren't racist.
Yeah, but we know why, though.
But they weren't racist. But my point to you is they weren't racist.
Eric, how in the world can you explain? Now, you got 71 million people. First of all, Eric, those few people you know about those 401ks, I know a few of those people too. But how many people out of 71 million you think make 400,000 a year or more? Because that's who Trump supports.
No.
The majority of the people who voted for him and support him, Eric, not only are they racist, they don't get a damn thing from him because he was taking their insurance away from them. See, this is the misinformation, and nobody's talking about
Darren,
it.
I know people who are making $80,000 a year. 80, which you can't live on in New Jersey, right? You could literally barely scrape by the time they tax the hell out of you in New Jersey. $80,000 a year. But their 401ks were doing fantastic. I'm not talking $400,000 people.
That's the way it goes.
What?
That's the way it goes.
Wait, but I'm saying, so that $80,000 person, wait a minute. So hear what I'm saying to you. Say $80,000 person who's living in New Jersey, who's getting the hell taxed out of them, but they see that this investment that the money that they're putting in their 401k and the matching and how it's going up, and they say, you know what? Based on these policies over here, right? I'm going to be able to live a little bit better if this continues in this trajectory. All I'm trying to say is that $80,000 person, no, they're not wealthy. They're not a $400,000 person. They're simply a person trying to scrape by. And they said this guy's policies for all these other things, because you said to me, why in heck would somebody vote for him unless blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying to you, because that person looked and said, hey, listen, I'm doing a little better financially. And I need that. They didn't make him racist.
That has nothing to do with Trump. That has nothing to do with Trump. See, that's the misinformation. Eric, let's be clear, brother, about 401ks. 401ks is based on where you have your money at and what's performing well. Trump
right.
Does nothing for that $80,000 person to have their 401k.
No, but it has everything to do with how the market. Well, that's not true, Darren, because it has everything to do with how the market is performing. It has everything to do with how the market is performing. And so now, wait a minute.
That has nothing to do with Trump, Eric.
Wait a minute. So we see we can't do this, right? We can't say, and again, I got to preface this with the fact that I'm not a Trump supporter, but everybody predicted, this is prior to COVID, everybody predicted that once Donald Trump became elected, that everything was going to go in the shitter. Everything. Then the stock market saw a record. Wait a minute. No. The stock market was seeing record growth, record numbers. Unemployment was, and now wait a minute. And then people, wait. Then people said when that started happening, well, this is a continuation of Obama, right? So now, okay. So if we're gonna say that, I'm saying, well, but this guy's the president, right? He's got his hands on the steering wheel. If he crashed the ship, everybody would blame him for crashing it. Because he kept it steady, right? And we continued the growth, if you want to say that, then you got to give the guy credit for keeping us steady and continuing the growth. But you can't have it both ways. And I'm simply saying that there are people who looked and said, you know what? For whatever this guy is doing, whatever you want to complain about him, he's steady. This ship is continuing on this trajectory, right? The stock market was seeing record numbers. The unemployment rate was down. Job numbers were up. All of that was happening prior to COVID-19. We can't deny it. And people's 401ks were looking beautiful.
I can't let you get away with that because when you dig down deep into those job numbers, they were not, and this has been public, and I'll pull up the data and send it to you. No, Eric, I can't let you get, see, that's a talking point from Fox, brother.
No, dude, listen. I'm not talking about Fox. I'm talking at that point.
Deep into those numbers, Eric.
Darren, prior to COVID, it wasn't Fox. Darren, prior to COVID, I was listening to back in, I guess I tuned out on all those stations somewhere around March, right? But prior to that, say late 2019, Darren, all of the stations were talking about the unemployment number, the jobs numbers, the low unemployment rate, the record that the stock market was hitting day over day. It wasn't Fox News I was watching. It was MSNBC, and they begrudgingly said it, but they said it. I was BBC.
Brother, let me ask you a question now.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about this on the show a bunch of times, brother. But when they say the unemployment rate is down, and you look, and they can't account for the amount of people who stopped looking for unemployment because they couldn't find a job. Those numbers are not in there. That's the numbers they dug down deep in, Eric, and saw that it was a darn lie when they said the unemployment rate was down. Come on, Eric. We got to be smarter than that, brother, because I know the numbers do not lie once you go deep down into the numbers.
Well, but all I'm saying is this, and I'll say this too. We can't allow one administration to use those numbers and not critique them in another one. So I'm saying if these are the numbers that are used and we're going to accept them as a baseline, then we got to accept them as a baseline for every administration, or we got to reject them across the board. Now, Mary Walker says 70 plus million people co-signed on bigotry and racism when they vote for a flagrant bigot and racist. Now, look, I don't dispute that, but let's have the conversation, because you got 74 million people on this side that voted for this guy, right? So then we have to conclude, Mary, that 145 million people in some shape, form, or fashion co-signed to some degree of bigotry, to some degree of racism. We gotta see. Wait, no. We gotta have this on. Otherwise, we'd have kicked them both out. But the fact that we didn't, right? The fact that we didn't, our mental illness allowed us to tolerate some level of it. So even when you had Kamala, who out of her own mouth called him a segregationist, she swallowed that.
Come on, Eric, you can't use that, brother. You can't use
that.
That's in the course of a competition. You can't.
No, come on. Well, then she's a liar. Wait a minute. Okay, so then she's a liar. Wait a minute. But then she's a liar. Right? You see, so you can't have it both ways. Either she's a liar. Wait a minute.
All in the competition, Eric.
Darren. There we go. No, that's my point to you. So then
everybody does that.
Darren. So then we're prepared. So let's understand what we're prepared to do. So we're prepared now to say we'll accept some level of lying, but we call that orange guy, a liar. But we're now prepared to accept some degree of lying, right? Because we say, it's all a part of the business. But when that guy was lying, well, that's too much. See, we're fickle. We're fickle. I'm looking and go, wait a minute. This woman sat there in front of millions and millions of people, called him a racist, called him a bigot. We had another guy in Cory Booker who called him a racist, who called him a bigot.
Now you're giving Cory credit? Come on.
No, I'm not giving him credit. Understand what Darren, understand what I'm saying to you. Understand what I'm saying to you. I'm saying that we have been messaged to and manipulated. And they tell us what we should tolerate, when we should tolerate it, when it's too much, when it's not enough. And so now we've been told, well, see, with Kamala and with Cory, they say that's just a little white lie. See, everybody does that. So you guys should be okay with that. But wait a minute. When they did it during the course of the debate, we were told as black people, you should be offended by that. You should be offended by what Biden did. You should be offended. You should listen to what Kamala says. You should listen to what Cory says. You should be offended. Then when they dropped out, the same people said, don't be offended. This is just a course of politics. You understand what I'm saying? But meanwhile, this guy over here, his vitriol language, you should be offended by.
And that's what politics. It's always been that way. And see,
I'm not suggesting it hasn't been.
Some you guys are doing. You guys are beating up Biden, and he hasn't even stepped into the overall.
No. I'm not. No.
Okay, you guys are basing it on his past record of things that you didn't like, and I keep saying, people keep bringing that darn crime bill up. I think I'm going to put that crime bill up, the entire crime bill, and we're going to have a lesson on it so people see what's in that crime bill.
Right.
Because there's more things in there that helped us than hurt us, first of all,
right,
because it helped women and other things. People look at the entire bill, not just part of it, and just cherry pick this one part and say, oh, this was bad. And then we got to remember, this is what was asked for by many people.
I'm not suggesting they haven't. I never suggested they didn't. And that's why I say you throw them all out, Darren. Look, I'm with you on that. In Newark, I can tell you that Sharp James benefited from it. Right? I can tell you that he wasn't pushing back against it. I can tell you that Sharp got pictures of him and Clinton in his house hugging each other. I can tell you that that's all offensive to me. Here's a question I want to ask you, Darren. Call a hold 1 second. Darren, what is your position on Clyburn on national TV saying that Biden doesn't owe him anything?
My position is this. I look at, see, I'm a realist when it comes to politics. So my short answer is, I'm not surprised that he would say that. And the reason why I don't take any position with it.
You're not offended?
That I think a lot of our problems are because we vote on election day and then we walk away. We think our job is done. So, and when Clyburn says something like that, I'm not surprised. That doesn't shock me.
Does it offend you?
No, not at all.
Wow.
Not at all.
Call or go.
I know who I am, and I know what I'm going to take and what I'm going to absorb. And see, I just think we need to start looking in the mirror a little bit more and stop saying that it's the politicians' fault only because we have a role to play.
No, I agree. Darren, I agree we have a role to play, but part of our role is, and we talk about this, is holding our politicians accountable, right? And so now I'm saying, should we not hold him accountable? Wait a minute. But should we not hold him accountable? But see, here to me is an opportunity for the black community to hold him accountable. And what we're saying, hold
accountable.
Clyburn for saying, wait a minute, dude, wait a minute. You sat there, you represented black America, you did this, and now you stand there and say he don't owe us nothing.
Eric, you haven't even seen what Biden is going to do yet. You haven't even seen
but wait a minute. But Darren, here's my question. Why do we have so why is the tail wagging the dog? The dog is the majority of black people who voted for Biden. That's the dog. The dog should be wagging the tail. And if Clyburn was the head of the dog, right? The head of the dog who's saying, no, we're going to wait and see what the tail is going to do. I'm going, no, we should be demanding it.
Eric, I can't put that on him.
Oh, come on.
The voters have a responsibility, Eric. We are not doing our part.
What I'm saying, but why can't our part right now be... But wait a minute. Why can't our part be... Why shouldn't our part be to say, God damn you, Clyburn? This is what we want. Why shouldn't every black American now be flooding Clyburn's phone, Congressman Clyburn's phone, saying, what do you mean he don't owe you nothing? Why shouldn't there be a call to do that? If Clyburn, if everybody, Darren, has exalted Clyburn to the kingmaker of the President of the United States, that's what they made, that's what they said he is. Why shouldn't we then say, well, okay, if he's our kingmaker, here, Clyburn, this. Why are we going to wait to see what this man does? Why can't we demand that he does something? Why?
What do we have the power to do, brother?
Wait a minute, either we have power or don't. I got Vincent saying we got power.
No. I'm asking you, what do we have the power to do?
So I'm going to tell you, right? So this is where I start the show. We ain't got no power. We were herded. We were herded based on emotion. That's why we're not going to call Clyburn. Because we don't know. So when Vincent says we have power, no, we don't. And it's going to be evidence now that we don't have any. Because we're going to sit back. We are the dog. We've been told by everybody. The whole world knows it. They painted Black Lives Matter all over the place, telling us that we were the shit. But now they're going to show us that we ain't nothing but shit. That's what I'm saying.
What's scary about it, right, is that Joe Biden gave more respect to the vote than Clyburn did. So when Joe Biden specifically said, I'm going to do this for this people, I'm going to do this, and had to, because that was intentional, right, to say, and Black African Americans, which we are not, but okay, African Americans, they had my back and I had their back, right? That was because he was giving us more power than the black man did. Darren, I don't, because we got off subject when you and Eric started talking, right? You called in, you said you agreed with Vincent, but I don't know if you were agreeing with Vincent in the sense of the conversation that he and Eric were having today, or if you were agreeing with Vincent, with the agreements that I've given Vincent all along, is that we needed this change from Trump. But we're out of that space, right? That's done and gone. He's gone, right? So the question was, when Eric is saying to Vincent, hey, this dude should have said, yeah, you owe us something, not owe me something, because to me would have been the entire black voting body that put Biden there. And that the fact that he didn't, then Vincent's narrative changed to, he shouldn't have done it because we have to be careful as black people to not be boisterous about the power we hold. But if Biden felt like he had to give something on his first speech to this nation to say, that group of people back me, they have my back, I have their back, then you would have to say, why didn't Clyburn feel that same power? And what does that say about us as a body of people that we seem to cower under or have to be strategic about the power we hold when we're holding in our hands all of this power? I hope that that's not what you were agreeing with Vincent on, is that it was appropriate, right? Because, and I'm tired of kind of being in the race space, but if Biden felt like it was important, if a part of his agenda, 2 pieces of the agenda are supposed to affect this community directly, right? Why didn't Clyburn feel that power on that day? And don't you think that there's an issue that we don't feel that kind of power, and we have to wait for our counterparts to beckon us to feel that power? You don't think that's strange?
So, Jody, a couple things. One, people keep saying Trump is going, Trump is not going. He is the head of the Republican Party. But let's be clear. Although he lost an election, he still is the head of the party. Means their ideologies are still going to be the same exact thing, because Mr. Connell and company does whatever he says to do. So let's stop saying Trump is going, because he's not going, guys. He is not going.
I don't mean it in that sense, but I get you. Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
Second point. I agree with Vincent when him and Eric was talking about the Bob Johnson situation. Bob Johnson's lens is that he's looking out of is different than other people's lens. So I don't give a darn what Bob Johnson says, but like I don't care what Ice Cube says or the other yo-yo said, Lil Wayne and the other idiot. I don't care what any of them say, because they're looking at it from a different lens. So I don't really concern myself. Now, in terms of Biden saying the words he said, I'm more of an action person. So somebody saying it was nice to acknowledge it, that the black community did, but we know that as a fact already. I'm more concerned about the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. I'm more concerned about police reform. One of the things that they said he's going to be dealing with the first time. That's what, see, and everybody has their own things that they look at. I'm looking at the not just me. I'm talking about my kids and my grandkids, and that's what I'm looking at, because I'll be dead and gone. So I'm looking at those things that will go into place now. Climate control, et cetera, et cetera. So my lens is that's my lens.
So let me give you just a little furtherance on Mr. Clyburn, right? I wasn't the only statement he made, right? He's been doing the runaround on the news stations all weekend, as opposed to talking about what you just said, because I've heard other black leadership say that now we can get back to the John Lewis bill and the George Floyd bill, right? You know what he's talking about? How bad it was for people to be using the defund the police, and how that put Congress in jeopardy, right? He still hasn't even made a demand or said your words, so we have no power when you say what we do. We can keep having these conversations, right? But there's people in power that can now push things that are good for us as a community. But Clyburn is still playing the He don't owe me nothing.
And
He don't owe me nothing.
and
His only conversation this morning, I saw him on 3 different stations. The only thing he talked about was how talking about defunding the police department hurt Congress runs.
and so wait a minute. And so Jody, and let us be clear. That Clyburn is not a political strategist. Well, he may be, but Clyburn is a congressman. He is a representative of the House of Congress, right? Who should be pressuring, right? By the very nature of the fact that he is a congressman. And so now they have him traveling the media circuit. And my biggest fear is this. When we say that we need to hold our electeds accountable, I'm saying, to what degree should we be holding Clyburn accountable right now? Right now. Not waiting to see, but right now. For the words that come out of his mouth. For the power that we're supposed to see, let the words come out of his mouth equal the power that we think we had in the vote. But they don't right now. They don't. He's not equaling what we did in this, what Black Americans did in this election. He's not equaling that, and I believe that every single independent podcaster, independent radio host, Black American, all of us need to be on him now, be on Clyburn now, because they've made Clyburn the face of Black American politics right now by putting him all over the place. And what he does is an example that they're setting for what we should be doing. I'm telling you, I'm watching this, and it's scary to me. And then Black people are going, well, it's all right that he's not being overt about what we should be, what his demands, because we need to be concerned about how Black people are going to take that. You know, we need to be, how white people are going to take that. You know, at the end of the day, we got to, no. Because if I go back to what Mary Walker said about 70% of people co-sign, and I'm saying more than 70%.
70 million.
70 million. I'm saying more than 70 million. See, we got to look on both sides. You got racists on this side too. You got folks who are making white supremacy and this whole idea of white privilege a comfort zone on the Democrat side too, right? Don't be fooled by that. And so I'm saying, no, we need to keep. See, one of the things that I thought was fantastic about Trump being in office was that he ripped the scab off, right? And said, no, this is what America really is, right? It ain't no post-racial nothing. It ain't no, y'all in it. Everybody is in it. And everybody's trying to fight for what, and I'm going, okay, so now we all fighting. We all trying to, Vincent said, we won a battle. And I said, what battle did we win? We won some emotional battle, according to Vincent. I'm going, wait a minute. We got a guy there who, by all accounts, is a kingmaker of the most powerful person in the entire world. And he stood on national TV and said, he don't owe me nothing. We should all be deeply concerned about that. All.
But again, I agree with Vincent about winning a portion of the battle. Because, see, again, I'm looking at through my lens. I don't care about nobody else's lens. I'm looking at my lens. My lens is I have a daughter and a son. And I got an idiot that's in the White House until January that will not address climate control. That's one of the things on the agenda to deal with in the Biden-Harris administration. So again, that's my lens. So I'm looking at that battle. See, everybody has their own little things.
You do,
Jody, Eric.
You do.
Everybody has the thing they look at. Your lens may be different than my lens.
Right.
I'm 55 years old. So I'm looking at my children and what their future will be when we got an idiot that does not listen to scientists and professors.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Time out.
And control, and that's what I'm looking at.
Wait. Vincent's not muted. Vincent says he's muted. Vincent, you're not muted. It's got to be on your phone. My phone, everybody who's called in is available to talk.
That's
You must
God.
have mashed the mute button by mistake.
Yeah, you must have hit your own mute button, Vincent. Because I don't have a. If I hit mute on my side, just to be clear, because I see what he posted in there, and I don't do that to people. If I hit mute, it would mute everybody. So it's got to be on your side, Vincent.
Is he back on?
No?
Oh well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So Vincent, either hang up and call back, right? Because I don't do that to people.
That's a good thing. You muted yourself.
No.
God.
Yeah.
Guys, trying to tell you something.
Okay. So Vincent just hung up. He's gonna call back.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at beyond.
Okay, am I back now?
You were always here. That was your phone.
No, I've been trying to talk for a while, but
Yeah, but I'm saying it's
that's
your
why I thought I was
phone.
muted.
No.
Okay.
I don't have the ability to mute one per. I just want to be clear, right? I don't have the ability to do that. So even when people tell me to do it, and I don't because I can't. If I mute you, I mute everybody. So go ahead, Vincent.
Oh no, I've got no. Just continue on. We're already past that point.
Okay.
So,
All right, go ahead, Darren. What were you saying?
Yeah, so Vince, I don't know if you're still able to hear us, but I was agreeing about what you said about the small battle that was won, which is part one. That's part one.
What was the battle?
Part one.
What was the battle?
the battle was getting out Trump.
That was the battle?
You had to remove him from the presidency. He's still there
Yeah.
because he's going to be controlling the Republican Party. But you had to remove him from the presidency because he is never, ever, ever going to listen to scientists about global warming and climate control. He's never going to listen to the scientists about the coronavirus. He leans on his own understanding. The Bible beats him up at. He leans, which is the worst. You should never ever lean.
Okay, no. That's okay, Darren. I just wanted to be Darren. I just wanted to,
Understanding, but
Darren, I just wanted to be clear that you're. I just wanted to be clear. I know that. I just wanted to be clear that your belief is that the primary battle for Black Americans in this election, above all things else, was to just get rid of Trump.
No, you said what was the battle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't say that was the
you said what we won, and we won.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was the battle. The battle was to get rid of Trump. And now you say that.
The thing is the realization that Biden is not the president now. He's the president-elect.
Right.
And the other thing about holding Clyburn accountable is this. What are we going to hold him accountable to when he made us no promises? Not one word of promise came out of Clyburn's mouth.
So you know what?
When you say stuff like that, I would be willing for you to mute the world.
I wasn't even gonna say anything because you just dug a ditch for yourself.
I would willing to be muted.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah, but mute him.
I can't mute him, but I wouldn't. But listen, what I wanna do is this. I wanna spend the last 20 minutes, and Darren. I mean, it was a perfect segue. I had it on the agenda to talk about. So this idea of Donald Trump, let's understand this. Again, go back to 71 million people voted for Donald Trump, right? And we can argue why, right? I'm sure somewhere some pollsters have that information, right, about what the motivation was in all those different areas, right? And then over here, you had 74 million people vote, right? So literally almost down the middle here in America. Donald Trump is a kingmaker now, right? So when we talk about Donald Trump being gone, he's not gone by a long stretch. In fact, do you guys remember they were talking, I guess 2 years ago or something, maybe 3 years ago, about Trump TV, right? Some internet television thing that Donald Trump was looking into, right? So now he literally will be able to onboard 71 million people onto his internet station.
Hey, there's a lot of people that still want that Trump Kool-Aid.
Right.
However, it's just not for me.
And drive a narrative, right? And drive.
Suggesting he's going to be the next Rush Limbaugh.
Well, I'm simply suggesting that. I'm going to tell you what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting that if Black people don't get on board and get what we can get now, We're going to be disappointed in 2 years, 3 years. And we're going to disaffect from the Democratic Party like we did in 2016. And there will be another Republican in the White House.
Now, that part I can agree on.
Right. So now I'm going to see, but everything I say is tied in. So when we're sitting waiting, we have an opportunity to now lead. We have an opportunity to get in front of it, right? To be the dog that wags the tail. But we're sitting, like Darren said, well, he hasn't become president. Let's wait and see what he does. I'm going to see that's the wrong posture. That's the wrong posture. Not wait and see what he does. Drive what he does. You say we have power, Vincent. I'm saying we don't. If you're right and we do have power, then let's drive what he does. Otherwise, we will be disappointed again. And we will disaffect from the Democratic Party. And in 2024, there will be another Republican.
You know, Eric, when I got married, incredible thing, and I've got to thank God for giving me the love of my life. But when I got married, we were going down the wedding list, and my wife was upset about all the people that I was saying no to. And she could not understand why. And I said to her, honey, we're getting married. This is our celebration. I do not want people at the start, before our even life together begins, with being in my face, wishing me bad luck. The same thing that we're looking at is that right now there are some people who are upset, black and white, that Biden had won. And all we're getting is clips of people being upset. Not the simple fact that he won, but the simple fact that they were wrong. And now there are now projections of theories of what he's going to do and what he can't do and what he hasn't done, when he hasn't moved anything yet except his objective of putting together a Corona task force. Yet we are now going into the naysayers and the negativity.
Didn't that same thing happen in 2016? But wait a minute, didn't the same thing happen in 2016? Wait a minute, didn't it happen in 2016? Didn't the same thing happen? Wait a minute, Vincent, stop. Let's go back. Didn't the same thing happen in 2016 from day one?
No.
Yes, of course it did.
It didn't happen with me. It didn't happen with me.
No, I didn't know, but it's not about you, Vincent. The world doesn't. But I'm saying,
unlike you, you're not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter, but you're a Biden hater, and I'm a Biden hater.
No. Let us be clear. See, I'm gonna be clear. I am not a Biden hater. I'm a hater of both parties. I'm an equal opportunity hater.
But yet the party that you hated that is not in office, you say nothing. The party the party that you hated who was about to be in office, you projected negativity. We haven't done anything. Well, he's in office,
right?
So at least you got one less group to hate.
Right? No. That's not true. I still got both. The both wings are still flapping on this dirty bird. Trust me.
Okay.
And so,
one of those dirty birds has been shot down, and he's a lame duck.
No, he's not. Okay. 71 million people. 71 million people. Right? They're gonna retain the Senate. You still have McConnell and you have Lindsey Graham there. I'm telling.
Next battle.
What?
The next battle, because McConnell and Lindsey Graham won their election. The next battle. Let's go to the next battle. We are still dealing with the battle of the election of 2020, and it's already over. Let's move to the next battle.
What is the next battle? What's the next battle? So I'm clear now on what you think the first battle was. So now, what is the next battle?
Well, the next battle is the next battle for him or the next
No. For black. No. They're getting ready to call up black people again for another fight, right? At some point. What is the next battle? Right. What is the next battle that they're going to call black people up to fight for?
The next battle for that I would perceive the president doing is uniting the country, which is basically what he started in his speech. The next battle would be getting something that has a huge degree of safety and accuracy to America so that we can fight this battle. Then the next battle would be to rebuild the economy, as well as, and when I say rebuild the economy, include those of color in it. The next battle would be after getting our kids out of our houses and into schools, to that parents take a positive step and an active role in their education. The next battle would be to, get ready and gear up for the next Senate race, because once this runoff happens, we may get a 50-50. But we've won that because who's in charge of the deciding vote? Kamala Harris. The next battle would be getting all of those things that has been helping or proposed to help African Americans, black people, that has been sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk to get it passed. The next battle, brother.
Assumptions. You are assuming that whatever's sitting on his desk is going to be sent back and people are going to vote for it. You are assuming that these people were really in favor of any of these policies to begin with.
Hey, Diane, can I say something?
Those policies that are sitting on his desk has passed the House.
But can I say something here? Let me say this. I'm going to show you how disconnected all that was, right? So you say he says, unite us, right? So the very first thing that Biden said he was going to do was, through executive actions, undo what Trump did. So now, wait, let me finish this. 71 million people voted for Trump and all those things he did. So Biden's very first thing is going to be to further divide this country, because 71 million people wanted what this man did. And Biden said out of his own, let me finish. Wait a minute, listen. Vincent, please show some restraint. We agreed that we weren't going to talk over each other, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So 71 million people voted, whether you voted for him or not. 71 million people voted for him. And they voted for all those things that he did. And so now Biden, right or wrong, is getting ready to undo them. He said it out of his own mouth. So how do you say that you're going to unite the country when you know that it's divided almost down the middle? And you're going to would you show some damn restraint, Vincent? I'm going to be finished in a minute.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So now,
okay.
71 million people, right down the middle, through fiat, he's thumbing his nose up at those 71 million people, saying, I'm going to undo everything that man you voted for did. How's that uniting the country?
Well, let's look at it. And if I could, my child, in uniting her and to make her healthy, I have to make proposals that she does not like eating her spinach. So, in terms of the country, you're saying 71 million voted for him because they like his policies, yet negating the fact that 75 million voted for Biden that wanted to bring those policies back. You look at the simple fact that through executive order, Donald Trump erased 70% of the Obama agenda, in which a lot of white people were affected by it. When he started to remove some of the parts of the Affordable Health Care or the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare, he did not just wipe out black people in its entirety. There are a great deal of white people who need it, who got up there and said that, wait a minute, my pre-existing condition is now gone. Oh my God. Now, we are now looking at uniting the country, whether they like it or not. It's the simple fact of making the hard decisions that's best for everybody and not the particular few. Now, we're looking at the policies of Donald Trump and the tax bill that only benefit 5% of the people who have 90% of the wealth. We're looking at reversing that so that income can come back so that we can fund some of these things that he's actually doing. We're looking at 75 million that voted for change.
So here's my take on it, Eric.
Is he going to unite the country, Darren?
I'm sorry?
Is he going to be able to unite the country?
No, of course not.
Thank you. I appreciate that honest answer. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I also don't believe 71 million people voted for him because of his policies. I don't think they know. I don't think they know one policy from him to the next. If you look at what happened, Eric, since this guy got elected, it magnified the racism around the country, where kids on college dorm in college while black. People barbecuing while black. People going to the swimming pool and they know they got a membership. You know they in the hotel are black. All it did was magnify the racism, and that's why I said the majority of the people that voted for him agrees with all of this racist crap that's going on in this country. But he won't be able to unite. No, he won't be able to. But I also, again, don't believe 71 million people know what his policies are.
Do you think that 74 million people know what Biden's policies are?
Well, I know one who knows what they are.
Right. So you have 71 people. So let's look at the dynamic again, right? 71 million people didn't know what you're saying, majority of them didn't know what Donald Trump's policies were. You had 74 million people who, a large number of those people don't know what Biden's policies are, right? You got Vincent believing that Biden's going to be able to unite the country.
No, that's not what I said. I didn't say that I believe that. I said that's what he's going to work on doing.
Okay.
Now,
do you think he's going to be able to? So we can clear this up. Do you think he's going to be able to unite so then answer the question. Do you think he's going to be able to unite the country?
No,
okay.
He won't.
Okay.
And this is why. Because there are going to be people who are going to hate you no matter what you do.
Okay. So now in the middle of him being, because I asked you what the next battle was, and you mentioned that was part of the battle to try to unite the country when we all know that he's not going to be able to, right? And so for black people who are going to be enlisted, because that's how I asked the question first, right? I said black people are going to be called up and enlisted to fight another fight. And I said, what is the next battle? You said to unite the country. So if we understand that is an act of futility, that black people are going to be, wait. So black people are going to be called up, according to you, black people are now going to be called up to fight an act of futility.
Okay, so on to the next fight.
Oh, there we go. I tell you, man. Listen, man.
I did give a list of battles.
Listen.
I did give that.
Listen. So, do you suggest that black people don't even involve themselves when they get called up for that one? That they decline? But I'm asking you. I asked you a question. I said, do you believe?
This is why I give dissertations, because you like to.
No, but I asked you a question. I said, do you believe? Do you believe that we should decline that battle?
I simply said, and I'm not saying that black people should get involved with that, but I will say that, you know what, it would be good if black people extend the olive branch, even though we know it may not be successful.
Right.
And then on to the next.
No, got it. So out of all the battles that you listed, which battles do you believe that black people specifically, not all Americans, but black people, should involve themselves in?
Let's look at a vaccine and building the economy.
I agree with that.
Let's look at education.
I agree with that.
Let's look at building the economy better with black involved. Let's look at restoring the Healthcare Act and the Affordable Care and improving on Obamacare, not dismantling it.
Got it.
Let's look at bringing in more judges.
Got it. So wait a minute. Got it.
Let's look at bringing that George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the and fighting the good fight bill to fruition and turning that into law.
Got it. So here's a question. So here's a statement that I have for you. Here's a statement I have for you.
Sorry, you're coming and breaking up, Diane. Could you repeat that?
Would that have been only expecting something for our vote? We didn't ask for anything. So
that's my point. Diane, thank you so very much. So I'm saying,
we didn't ask for anything.
But wait a minute, I'm saying, why couldn't Clyburn say that? Where everything that you said, I agree with, Vincent. All those things, that the battle that you just talked about, the one about uniting the country, nah, we don't need to be involved in that one. Okay. But the other ones, absolutely. And this guy Clyburn, right, who was the kingmaker, why isn't he on national TV saying, what does he owe me? He owes me this. He owes me that. He owes me this. He owes me that. And the fact that I'm in my basement, right, with a green screen, that you're at your house on a phone, and that we can say it, but that guy, we're okay with him having a platform, being an elected official, and we're okay with him not saying it because we have to be concerned about what some white people might think if he said what you just said is our problem.
Okay, and let me answer that this way. My wife and Jody have one thing in common. When I speak, they get upset because I'm not saying it the way that they wish me to say it. And I said, no. Okay, and she says the same thing. And she says, well, why didn't you say this or why didn't you say that? And I expressed to her that is not my narrative.
We got 2 minutes.
That is someone else's. It is not Clyburn's narrative to do all of that. And that question that he was asked, it was his narrative to say to
We got a minute and a half.
Not turn up the heat on the racial divide, to unite, to do whatever is possible to unite and ease the fears of a great deal of Americans.
Right.
Basically, the 70 million.
Got
who are a
it.
huge
Go ahead, Jody.
It is his
All right, Vincent.
that no,
Vincent, we run out of time.
The ideology of our
Vincent,
country.
we run out of time. Go ahead, Jody. Get the last word. We got a minute.
So I was there. I was with it. I supported Joe Biden. I believe that it was really bad that we had this crazy dude as president. But I think that, and I saw a lot of this on the internet, I think that already we have started on that path of least resistance, and that we are going to muck it up once again because of those behaviors of Vincent, who is like pie in the sky, right? Like, it's just going to be wonderful because he's gone, and that's not true. Even undermining that number of 70 plus million people who voted for him is very, very stupid for any of us to believe that doesn't mean something, and that we got a big job ahead of us. I just, I'm glad that he's out of office. I do feel like Karen in certain ways that for my child to see something a little less hectic, but neither am I fooled into thinking that keeping hope alive and all of those kind of symbolic words will translate into real action from my community. I hope it's better, but I have no faith in it until I see it. That's it.
All right.
Just so you guys know, as we sit here, breaking news, Biden is given a talking about the economy and COVID-19 as we speak.
All right. So
I'm watching it now.
yeah, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna check it out. Listen, man, I just think that look,
between 11 and 3.
I think that we just need to hold. I think that we need to.
So the technician will give you a call when he's en route to your house, and this is 1507, right?
Yeah, just mute us and go off the air.
Oh, wait. Oh, is that Jody on the line? No. So,
That's Joe.
all right. So what I want to. So what I want to say in closing is that.
It's not working.
Hey, Jody, put on mute. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Sorry again.
So I want to say that in the end, guys, we have to determine a posture that we as Black Americans need to take. And I don't even think that we're clear on that. Whether we should be assertive or whether we should be passive and be concerned about, how we're going to rub things the wrong way. Look, everybody already knows or should know what the culture is here. And we talk about the miseducation of not just the Negro, but of Americans, right? In terms of Black Americans, slavery, all of those things. We can't continue to walk on eggshells here. It hasn't gotten us anything. And for us to believe that it's offensive to people for us to speak our truth is dangerous. We have to be able to do that. And when we elect, look, Ayanna Presley said it, right? No more Black faces without Black voices. If you're scared of being marginalized and stereotyped, then stay home. See, so if Clyburn is concerned about being marginalized or stereotyped as an angry Black man because he's speaking our truth, then stay home. We can't have that anymore. We're out of time.
As Jack Nicholson said, you can't handle the truth.
Well, they can't. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't still give it to them. thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to continue this conversation and many, many more. But I believe that as Black Americans, we have to put the pedal to the metal, and we have to apply pressure everywhere.
75,559,000 for Biden so far.
All right, we're out of time.
1,032,000.
Thanks for tuning in.